Marcus Aurelius once said,
"It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor."
This profound insight lays the foundation for our exploration into habits that may be hindering our growth. Since you are watching this video, it means that you value your time greatly. So let us begin with point 1, the pitfalls of pleasure seeking. In the pursuit of a meaningful life, it's essential to distinguish between transient sensory indulgence and lasting fulfillment. Stoicism doesn't advocate for the denial of pleasure. Rather, it prompts a thoughtful examination of its role in our lives. When we speak of the private realms of self-gratification, particularly those facilitated by the digital age, Stoicism invites us to reflect on their contribution to our overall well-being. Are these moments of escape contributing positively to our personal narrative, or are they a mere diversion from our authentic selves? The Stoics would argue that overindulgence in such private acts is akin to being a spectator of one's own life, passive and disengaged from the active pursuit of virtue. It's a delicate dance between natural human desires and the mastery of self that leads to true freedom. This is not about casting judgment or invoking shame, but about making conscious choices that serve our higher purpose. It's about recognizing the power in restraint and the profound joy that comes from endeavors that enrich our lives and contribute to the greater good. By choosing the path of moderation and self-control, we align ourselves more closely with the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature and reason. Before we move on to number 2, please like this video and subscribe to support me on my mission to spread the wisdom of Stoicism. Point 2, the misconception of endless time. Seneca, the Stoic sage, once observed that it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. This habit of squandering time as though it were infinite is a delusion we must confront. Stoicism teaches us the art of living with presence and intentionality. It's about making the most of each moment, recognizing that our time on this earth is finite and precious. The Stoics understood that the true value of time lies not in its quantity, but in its quality. It's not about filling our days with activities, but about ensuring that our actions are purposeful and aligned with our values. The digital distractions that pervade our modern existence, endless scrolling through social media, the binge-watching of television series, the rabbit holes of online content, these are the thieves of time that Seneca warned us against. They are the habits that insidiously erode our most valuable asset. To live stoically is to live fully, to engage with life actively and meaningfully. It's to prioritize activities that nurture our souls and contribute to our personal and communal growth. It's to understand that every minute spent in mindless diversion is a minute subtracted from the pursuit of a virtuous and contented life. Point 3, the resistance to life's inevitable change. Marcus Aurelius, a paragon of Stoic thought, embraced the notion that the destiny of everything is to change, to transform, to perish, so that it can be reborn anew. The habit of resisting change is a source of great suffering and discontent. Life, in its infinite wisdom, is in a perpetual state of evolution. Everything changes, from the smallest grain of sand to the mightiest of empires. Trying to hold on to the familiar, to maintain the status quo, is not only futile, but also a barrier to the wealth of opportunities that change can bring. Stoicism doesn't ask us to be passive in the face of change. It asks us to be adaptable, to recognize the potential for growth and improvement that comes with new experiences. It's about understanding that change is not something to be feared, but to be embraced as a natural and beneficial aspect of existence. Instead of clinging to the past or the present, Stoicism encourages us to look forward to the future with optimism and openness. By cultivating a mindset that welcomes change, we become more resilient and flexible. We learn to appreciate the transient beauty of life and to find peace in the knowledge that everything is as it should be. Change is not the enemy. It is the catalyst for our development, the force that propels us towards becoming the best versions of ourselves. Point 4. The tyranny of anxiety over the future. Marcus Aurelius, in his contemplative writings, reminds us that if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. Anxiety, a common shadow in our lives, often arises not from the events themselves, but from our perceptions and anticipations of the future. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this pervasive unease by urging us to focus on the present and on what is within our control. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, is a technique whereby one visualizes potential challenges or misfortunes to lessen the impact of fear or anxiety about the future. This practice encourages us to consider the worst-case scenarios, not to dwell on them, but to realize that often they are not as catastrophic as our anxiety would have us believe. By doing so, we can prepare ourselves mentally for life's adversities and reduce the power that anxiety holds over us. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between our efforts and the outcomes, which are frequently beyond our control. By focusing on our intentions and actions, we can let go of the anxiety that comes with trying to predict or control the uncontrollable. This shift in focus from outcomes to efforts can liberate us from the chains of anxiety, allowing us to live with greater tranquility and effectiveness. Point 5. The habit of emotional clinging. The Stoics believed in the freedom that comes from emotional detachment, not as a cold indifference, but as a rational management of our attachments. It is the habit of clinging to past mistakes, to guilt, and to regret that can paralyze us, preventing growth and progress. Stoicism teaches us to learn from our errors, but not to be defined by them. When we dwell on past missteps, we are engaging in a futile exercise, one that does not change what has been but can negatively affect what will be. The Stoic approach is to acknowledge our human fallibility, to extract wisdom from our experiences, and then to move forward with a clear and unburdened conscience. It is about applying reason to our emotions, recognizing when they serve us and when they hinder us. By practicing emotional detachment, we can maintain our equilibrium in the face of life's ups and downs. This is not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding their place and function. It is about maintaining our inner citadel, as Marcus Aurelius would say, fortified against the external forces that threaten our peace of mind. Point 6. The procrastination of purposeful action. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca both spoke against the thief of time that is procrastination. You could be good today, but instead, you choose to wait until tomorrow, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Point 6. The procrastination of purposeful action. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca both spoke against the thief of time that is procrastination. You could be good today, but instead, you choose to wait until tomorrow, Marcus Aurelius wrote. Stoicism teaches us the value of the present moment and the folly of deferring our duties and potential for goodness. Procrastination is not just a thief of time, it is a thief of life. The Stoic virtue of action is grounded in the understanding that the right time is always now. Delaying our responsibilities not only robs us of the satisfaction that comes from accomplishment, but also weighs on us, diminishing the quality of our leisure. The Stoic life is one of balance, work and rest, duty and pleasure, all in their proper time. To overcome the habit of procrastination, Stoicism encourages us to break our tasks into smaller, manageable actions, to focus on the process rather than the overwhelming totality of the end goal. By doing so, we can find joy and satisfaction in the act of doing, in the journey itself, rather than being fixated on the destination. This approach transforms our relationship with our duties, turning them from burdens into opportunities for engagement and self-realization. In closing, let's take to heart the Stoic teachings that challenge us to abandon unhelpful habits. It's not about less pleasure, but about more purpose. As we cultivate self-mastery and align with our true values, we open ourselves to a life of fulfillment. If this message speaks to you, support our shared journey towards wisdom by liking and sharing this video. Subscribe for more Stoic guidance to enrich your life. Thank you for your time, and remember, embrace simplicity, seek virtue, and live fully.